So I got fired from 3 jobs, okay, within a year and a half time period, right? My first job I lost on September 18th, 2023. Literally lost the second job a year after that, a year to the day after that, on September 19th, 2024. And then I was unemployed for 2 months and got hired and got fired after 5 days. So I have some experience, okay, at the hire fire thing. So with the first job, that was a not-for-profit that was connected to a church. So I knew, they explained it to me before working there, that I would not be able to apply for unemployment, even though I was W-2, that was a W-2 position. But because, it was a not-for-profit, they weren't having to pay certain taxes. They don't have to, not anything they did wrong, they don't have to do it. So when I got fired from that job, I was not able to qualify for unemployment. I didn't even try, okay? I didn't even try because I got hired to my next job not even 2 to 3 weeks later, okay? So then I started working on my second job. And at that second job, because it was a sales company and all of the sales representatives were on a 1099 position, I started off as sales and I was under 1099. So then I transferred to HR and recruiting, and they never switched over my 1099 to W-2. It was kind of like they did not want to switch my 1099 over to W-2. It just would have been like a process, and I just didn't want to rock the boat or anything like that. So I was under 1099, which, I can't complain. At the time, I wasn't complaining. I didn't say anything about it. And it wasn't until I got fired and I tried to apply for unemployment, which I do want to say, I lost my job on September 19th, and I did not apply for an unemployment until October 27th, because that's how confident I was that I was going to get another job, because I had never been unemployed for this long. So I just knew it was only going to take me 2 to 3 weeks to get a new job. So it just didn't feel like it was worth my time to apply for unemployment. But after I had been out of work for a month and some change, I'm like, okay, look, I have rent, I have bills, I have car note, I have all these things. Let me go ahead and see if I can apply for unemployment. And I Googled it and I said, can you get approved for unemployment if you were working under a 1099? And Google said, most likely not. Most likely not. That was also contributed to my reason as to why I didn't apply for unemployment, because I was like, well, Google said if you're a 1099, you're not going to get approved for unemployment, so that's not worth my time to do it. But everybody was telling me apply for unemployment, because if you go to any career coach, any job, I just lost my job, what do? The first thing everybody tells you to do is apply for unemployment. Even if you don't think you're going to get approved, apply for unemployment. So that's what I did. I applied for unemployment, and literally the decision came back 3 days later that I did not qualify for unemployment because there were no taxes being taken out of my check. Now, I know what you guys are going to do, because this is what you guys are going to like to do. You're going to go in the comments and you're going to be like, oh my God, you are so stupid. How did you not know that you don't get approved for unemployment if you're under 1089? I just didn't know. I just feel like that's something that you have to be told, or that's something that you figure out along the way. Even as somebody who was working in HR at the time, I still didn't know, because that was more so of like a higher up discussion. Whenever that came up with employees who had been people who quit who tried to apply for unemployment, people who got fired who tried to apply for unemployment, they would email HR because they needed specific information for the unemployment office. And I would just elevate that to the higher ups, because they wanted to take care of that. So even as somebody in HR, I was completely unsure. I was unaware of that, and it didn't dawn on me until I needed unemployment to look into that. I just knew that 1099 meant there would be no taxes taken out of your check. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm going to be responsible for my own taxes. I did not know that meant that means that the company doesn't have to pay specific taxes, to where if they let go of any of their employees, they don't qualify for unemployment. That I did not know. I just believe that, those are some of the things that in life you just find out. You just find out through a YouTube video, you finding out this information through me, or you finding out the hard way, you lose your job and now you find out that you don't qualify for unemployment. Either way it goes, you're gonna find out, unless somebody tells you, which how would that ever come up in conversation? You know what I mean? And I bet you they don't teach you that in college either. So don't come for me with they'll teach you that in college. You would have known that if you would have got a degree. No. I don't believe I would have known that if I if I got a degree. So yeah, we're just trying our best. You know what I mean? Learning stuff along the way. I just feel like this channel is money, finance, and entrepreneurship. So you want some finance advice. If you're a not-for-profit, if you're working under a 1099, if you get fired from the position, you don't get approved for unemployment. And there's probably a couple more things to add to that. Like, I know if you like work for yourself, obviously, you can't get approved for unemployment. I just so happen to fall into 2 positions unintentionally where I would not get approved for unemployment if I got fired. I did not do that on purpose. It was a minor thought in the back of my mind, because who plans on getting fired, especially when you're as good as employee as me? You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's all. In the meantime, stay strong. Bye, guys.